We're at the second last episode of Game of Thrones. If you were here, you have probably watched most of our series, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Today, we did not enjoy the series called Game of Thrones, did we?
No, not really.
Full
No.
spoilers. If you're here and you haven't watched it, I don't know why, but full spoilers, you've been warned.
Yep, spoilers.
So we'll say up until now, we've been pretty positive, or, I'd say optimistic. Let's use the word
yes.
optimistic in the
Yes.
series and where it was going to go.
Yes.
Uh,
Today it all just went to shit. Today it's just like literally in front of your face.
just like the Red Keep, season 8 is coming down.
So we all
Too
knew that
soon.
this was going to be a big episode because it was directed by the same person who did Battle of the Bastards and the White Walker battle, whatever. So we're like, sweet, okay, it's going to be like a big ass war. Like they're just going to be like, nah, and then something's going to happen, and then we're going to figure out who's going to end up on the Iron Throne. Well, that didn't happen.
No. And it took a while to get into the big ass war too. It
wasn't
bit
even a
slow
big
at
ass
the beginning.
war.
No,
There
it was
wasn't
just a big
really.
ass.
Fuck up.
Daenerys is a bitch.
Pretty
That's what it was.
And there was a lot of lead up where it was very slow at the start, where I was like, there was a lot of stares. I thought it was like an episode of The Ball of the Beautiful or some sort of
It wasn't just at the start.
soap
it was
opera.
the whole way
throughout.
through.
Yeah, there were quite a
Yeah.
few moments. These episodes don't need to be this long because there's so many moments where I'm picking up on it, like when Tyrion was walking away from her when she was at
Well, we
the
saw
dragon
Arya
place.
stand
Fall
up
asleep.
about 15 times.
Oh my
in this
God,
episode.
yeah.
really slowly.
When she was walking towards the horse, I was like, okay, I get it. It's like cinematography and looking pretty. But then it's also like, can you just get on with it, please?
We know she's going to ride the horse as soon as you see the horse.
Yeah. No, I know. That was supposed to be emotional and stuff, but I guess today we just weren't feeling it.
Yeah.
I think it's just because, you've been following Daenerys this long. You've been following all of it this long. They've been, they've kept all these characters.
Yes.
They've been really careful about who they've killed and everything. And then this episode, they kind of just did a lot of stuff that felt very unfulfilling
Yeah.
in a way.
I felt super unfulfilled. My God, even with let's just talk about Jaime and Cersei. When he first said, I'm going to go, when he was just like, hey, Brienne, sorry, but I like my sister's bits, not yours. I was like, I think he's joking, right? Surely he's just, they want the audience to think that he's going to go there for a reason, and then he's going to befriend her and then kill her. And he's going to be the one that just kills Cersei. And then it wasn't. It was him literally just no, incest is my thing. I'm going back to my sister. And the way that they died
And then,
together, I was
I know I say this all the time. If they don't die on screen, they died off screen. But I think they're dead.
yeah, that's one of the ones that's it's not confirmed.
Which
but
made
it's
it, it made it
confirmed.
unfulfilling because you've been following Cersei all this time and everything. You wanted her to get a comeuppance, and instead they ruined Jaime again,
Yes.
a character that they tried to fix that you end up liking, and then they're like, wait a minute, never mind.
Right him again.
He's back to where he was, back to square one, and Cersei and him both died just off, almost off screen in a way.
I hate Cersei. I hate her so much. There's not one thing that redeems her in my eyes. And I don't mind Jaime. But I don't know. I thought it was kind of sweet how they were hugging when they died, but also
It just
I
doesn't
don't
seem
like
right
them
for
together.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
but
right for them.
they
know.
love each other. It was a nice way for them to go in their eyes.
Yeah,
but
that's fair, but also no.
But did they need a nice way?
Yeah,
no,
they
didn't
That's the
deserve a
thing.
nice way.
No,
they
that's
didn't deserve
right.
it at all.
Yeah,
but it was
no.
kind of sweet.
It was sweet,
how
but they don't
found each other
deserve
at the
that
end.
sweetness.
No, they don't deserve it.
That's why it's
But-
annoying. I don't
Yeah.
know, and it was pretty shitful because everyone that you hate from Game of Thrones, like Ramsay and Joffrey and freaking all of these people have just been they've had this really big death, and you're like, yes, and you can feel it, and you feel really good about them dying because you're like, oh thank God, even the Greyjoy dude that died at the end there, I was like,
he
thank
had a
God no
fulfilling
one
death.
likes, it's sweet, or you get good old stabs, and then it was just and things fall on top of Cersei.
Good old
It's
dogs ripping out their innards or being
and then
poisoned
Cersei
slowly.
and then Cersei just gets crushed by things, and you're like, excuse me?
I'm glad Arya didn't kill her though. I will say that, but I think someone should have.
Yeah, I thought like halfway through I was like, maybe she's going to use Jaime's face like after he got like kind of cut up by the other dude and then pretend to be him and then she'd be like, oh my God, Jaime's back for me. And then she'd be like, nah, nah, nah.
I think you're supposed to just forget about that whole face thing
That's
now.
so dumb. We followed it
I
for
guess
so
they're
long.
over that.
No, we followed it for so long. It
Well,
should have come back
did.
for something.
That's
It
the
should have seemed
biggest
useful.
thing that this series has changed is how
Everything?
long they took to do things before, and now they're just blowing through everything. So characters don't do what you think they should because they're not taking the time to get the character from point A to point B or whatever it is.
If they were cutting out half the shots of people standing up and doing
Oh my God.
solemn looks, they might be able to fit a
Well,
bit more that they should fit
On
in.
the Arya one, when she was becoming like the no-face man or whatever you call it, that took a long time and was like reasonably uninteresting for a lot of
Yeah.
it. But it was fine because you were following a story. Whereas now
And you're like, something's gonna happen, and it's like,
It's
yeah, so
gonna
she
get
killed the
to
dude
somewhere.
that killed the Red Wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
But then that's the only thing you used it for, like years and years of training to be no one, and now that's it. That's all.
Although she did decide that she wasn't no one, she was Arya Stark.
Yeah, true.
But she still
Some
has that training. She
some
still used it after
self-discovery as
she
well.
said she was Arya Stark. She was still able to use that no face thing.
Yeah, I know. It just
But-
seems like that's such a cool thing. She should have used more often.
Yeah.
I guess they
definitely.
should have listened to Viserys.
You
Oh,
think?
wait, that's his name, right?
Yes.
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 You think?
There's so many V's.
Yeah. John was like, oh shit.
He's clearly
I
made a
should
mistake.
be king.
yeah.
That
Or
was
at least she shouldn't be.
that was one of
Yeah.
those like, oh, so as dumb as it is, when you don't overthink everything, there was still a lot of like, oh moments
Yeah.
that were like,
Mhm.
oh my God.
Now, this is something
Yeah.
you were looking forward to, which was the Mountain and the
the Hound.
Hound. How do you feel about that interaction?
It was fine. I did think they were both going to die. So
Yeah.
like I never thought he was going to get out of it as well because that was his whole arc. But compared to everyone else or a lot of other people's arcs, it was good.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It was still pretty like, I don't know, it's like squeezing his eyeballs. And I was
Yeah,
like,
which was
oh,
like
good.
throwbacks and
Yeah.
stuff.
And then he's
but-
like, the only way that I can kill him is just like chucking us both off this thing. So I was like, yeah, I still feel like it would have been cooler. Like I feel like the type of like vibe you got from them when they had the White Walker, like that one White Walker that they were showing everyone, like when they were all sitting in the same area, and like that
Yeah.
sort of like vibe they had between them, I found more interesting than today. I was like, they were just kind of like, let's just get this over with, like today.
But it is hard to do it justice in a way because like even if for a second I thought, oh, maybe Arya's going to come back and save him. But then
Yeah.
if that happened, you'd be like, oh, well, that was lame.
Kind of.
So in a
He had
way,
to die, but did he die well? It was
Well-
fine. And
well
it went
enough,
into fire.
yeah.
He went into fire. I thought he was going to do the fire thing.
there was a
Yeah.
couple cool things. Like him pulling the sword out was kind of cool. And then him, as he's trying to squeeze his eyes and he's just, stabbing and it's doing nothing.
Is it here? How about here? Does it hurt here? How about
Like
here?
as it was, it was
feel this?
interesting.
Yeah.
And, no, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Could have, they could have spent a little bit more time having a cool fight between them.
Yes.
Maybe get them off the
wasn't very
stairs.
Yes.
cool, was it?
Well,
No,
It didn't move
I think
anywhere.
the reason for that was they sacrificed the actual coolness of them like fighting for the cinematography of all the things, like the amount of shots that they changed from like, oh, here's a thing falling down. Now we're going from this direction. Now we're going from this direction with this thing falling down. And
Lots
it's like,
of things falling.
but they're just going nah. So
I
they
wouldn't
could've
be surprised
made
if
it
you watched
better.
it back and the shots were just reused. Wouldn't even
Yeah, it
notice.
could be.
There was a couple of things where something blew up and then you saw it blow up again and then you saw it blow. And I was like, did she do 3 like big fires or was it 1?
Yeah.
And it was just 1. And I'm like, okay.
Definitely.
Yes.
But yes, I think you saw all the explosions. So it wasn't just the dragon fire. It was the
Yeah, the Hellfire. Is
yeah,
it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Hellfire.
Hellfire. Yeah.
That would made another comeback because, as they said before, it was all under the
Under
city.
the
So it was
city.
cool that
That was cool.
that came back up, and it made more sense that the city was getting that destroyed,
yeah,
when they
I
showed
agree.
that. Because at
Yeah.
first you're like, it is just one dragon.
I feel like you can definitely tell that they're not following the books anymore. They're sort of, well, there's no more books for them to follow.
Yeah,
so now they're
true.
just floundering on their own.
Yeah.
They're like, what do we do?
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same sort of structure. It doesn't.
Even
Yeah.
the way they get around the, I'm going to keep calling them scorpions. I think that was the name.
That is the name, yeah.
The way they got around that was, oh, she flew really high. So when they look up, they see the sun. That was,
Yeah.
and then somehow she was able to destroy every single one and no one was able to get a clean shot. Whereas
yeah, no one.
even
Although
when they had one on the
be clunky to
battlefield
move it.
before, but Brom's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a shot in before.
when they just had that one in the ship.
And it's
Last episode.
Right.
It's a dragon. You can't miss it. You've got
No.
time to line up.
True.
No, I don't know.
I know, like turning it around, maybe they weren't.
Bit
you know,
clunky, yeah.
But
Plus, if she's really high, I don't think they can go straight up. Like, they can only...
well, they've only got so far, but they had them on the walls
Yeah,
and
they have
everything.
so many of them to choose from. You think that
that's
some
true,
of them...
yeah.
Not that I want Drogon to die, obviously. But
No.
It just seemed a little too easy. Like, I was like, how are they going to do it? What's her master plan? And it was, I'm just going to fly straight at them again.
Yeah,
Except
yeah.
this time it's going to work.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No. So yeah, we had like the lead up, and then we were like trying to figure out whether like Daenerys and like Jon are together again, and they had like the
Yeah.
exact same thing as the last episode where it was like, kiss me, oh no, don't kiss me, oh no, don't kiss me. It's like Jon and stuff. So I'm just like, oh my
Yeah.
god. So I guess they're kind of doing that because they're like, he's like flailing around. I don't know how I feel because we're like related. But the next episode's gonna be like, yeah, bitch.
Well, I
I'm
guess
not
we're
gonna like you
getting.
anymore.
I guess we're getting the war that I said. Hey,
Yeah, Dany versus Jon.
Dany versus Jon. That's going to be the last episode,
With
I guess.
Arya, obviously.
Well,
yeah, it's
she mad.
How have they done all this in this episode? And now there's only one episode to finish up this
That's
season.
kind of, yeah.
I don't understand how they're going to finish it all up.
You'd think by now
nicely.
they'd just like we'd know kind of the idea of who's going to be on the
Well,
show.
I
that's
guess,
the
Is
thing.
it 2 hours the next episode?
No, I think it's an
Two
hour
and
and a half again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or close to.
Better be goddamn epic.
I don't
don't
think
know.
any ending is going to make anyone happy, honestly.
No.
I think they've ruined too many storylines, which is fine, which is like, it's good to subvert expectations. But when you're this far along in a series that's gone for this long, it's often safer and better just to play it out in a way that's fulfilling, even if it's a little bit cliche.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know. And I
It's
just,
nice it's still surprising us though.
yeah.
Even if it's not in a good way.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like the whole Daenerys turning into like the Mad Queen thing is really annoying me because she's gotten through so many seasons being such a strong character, going through so much stuff, and now she's like at the last minute being like, "You killed my best friend, like Miss Sandy," and is it Miss Sandy?
Miss Sandry or
Miss
Miss...
Sandry.
Yeah.
I think I just said it very
Jorah
weirdly.
Mormont.
And
And
Jorah.
two of my dragons.
Well, true. Well, one,
kind of
the
get
Night
where
King
she's
did one.
coming
I
from.
know, but at the same time, it's like you've had these like morals and values, and now you're like, let's
Yeah.
just fuck shit up. I feel like
But
that's so stupid.
I guess these people haven't shown her the love. Like on the other continent, all the people loved her and upheld her, and they chanted her name and chanted mother and
She
stuff.
just wants to be loved.
And she's like, these people don't love me. How the fuck do I get them to love me? And
Yeah.
she's like, fuck it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill them and get some new people that love me.
Yeah.
Where are these
Okay.
new
Yeah,
people
you.
going to come from?
Gonna get
Kind
them from
of.
over the sea.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I don't
Jesus.
know.
It's
Oh,
not like there's much left to rule.
something that we're a bit disappointed about. Elephants.
No elephants.
You think?
Don't
she
mention
mentioned-
elephants if we're not getting elephants.
That seems like such a meme now. She's like, "Oh, I wanted elephants."
Yeah, why
Okay,
not?
That's it.
they've got one more option to get some elephants in there, and that is that the Golden Company or whatever's left that's left back over there comes and backs John. But that would be a real, that's a
Alright,
real out there
alright.
prediction.
We'll wait.
But that's the last chance to get some elephants in
We
this.
want elephants, but we will
I'll
wait.
bet you $5 that there's no elephants. I want there to be elephants, but I don't think there's.
I'll
gonna be
take the bet
elephants.
just
okay,
to
all right.
stay
Okay,
optimistic.
awesome. We'll find out
Wonderful.
next week. Oh my God. But yeah, that was just like, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen next episode. But just like a lot happened, but I don't feel fulfilled like you said.
I think they just took too long in some parts, blew through some other stuff, and yeah, I don't know. It's still another episode where it didn't span very long. It was a very short time period. Like, I don't know, you could say a couple days almost
Yeah.
or whatever it was. So all these episodes are very much like, here is a thing, but none of it's like flowing on from anything we've seen particularly. It's kind of
No.
like a whole new show now.
That's the thing as well. That's what
Yeah.
I got a bit annoyed because we like the last episode it had finished and we were looking at them staring down at King's Landing with Cersei at the front, and then this one starts with them just being like, "We're back home," like.
It
You're
feels
like, but
more
it was
like
about to have confrontation, and so then obviously she like backed up or whatever, but she didn't say she was going to, and it doesn't seem like, I don't know. And then they just turn up anyway because they're just like the other people there. I don't know.
it feels more like a CW show at the moment,
Yeah,
like The Flash or The Arrow or something.
yeah.
I haven't seen any of them, but yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit trashy, like a little bit like.
But
the
you
Yeah.
still
substance.
enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
This week on the Real Housewives of Game of Thrones.
But obviously now everyone's gonna root for John.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got no one else left to bother rooting for. I think you might as well throw out all your Daenerys cosplays.
Pretty much. I'm just going to
You've
burn
got a
them all
Jon
just like she burned all
cosplay.
the people.
I don't think there's any.
True.
I don't know. I can't foresee a redeeming arc for her. The only thing they might try and pull off is her and John leaving together.
No,
but
that's not going to happen.
that would
He
feel
has made
very
that
forced.
clear, and no, it would be forced.
Yeah, his face when like she kept going after the bells were tolling, he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then the people started killing again, and he was just done.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to hold people back. Like
I know.
he's not forgiving
No.
her. No,
That's why it's very, it's fucked up.
yeah.
Well, do you think they can redeem it in the next episode? Are you still holding out hope?
Arya's still alive.
But do you?
True. We like the
She's
amount of times
finished.
that I thought that she was like dead today.
There
it
was that
ridiculous.
moment
It
where
like
she was just
fade to
lying
black,
there, and I was
fade to
like,
black. Yeah, I know, with all the blood. Oh my
No.
god. No, I know.
She's had an arc. Let's move on.
No.
She's had.
she's done her thing. So I don't know. And I thought that like Daenerys would like redeem herself today and be like, okay, the bells, because Tyrion kept saying the bells, listen for the bells.
Yeah.
And the bells happened and we're like, sweet, the bells happened. And then she's like, fuck that. But like if she hadn't and she was like, okay, cool, we did it, guys. Like, good job, team.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, okay, cool. She's actually got like a brain. She's got some sense. But
I
not,
think
no.
she thought she'd be able to kill Cersei before the bells tolled. And then because she didn't get to actually
But
have that moment
the
of
amount
killing
of stuff,
her.
yeah. But
She
then
was
we
like-
and then we didn't get that anyway. We wanted that, and
Yeah, we
we
did.
didn't get it. She didn't, and neither did we.
Because she should have gone straight there.
That's what
Because
I
she could see
thought.
the red key.
Yeah, and the amount
I
that
mean,
she
there
was
was a lot of
screwing it all
windows.
up.
So many windows.
Yeah.
Cersei was right there.
She was standing in front. She was basically saying hello.
The dragon would have been able to see him
Come
with
flay
her
me.
with his dragon eyes.
Yeah, it's beady little light dragon
Yeah.
eyes. No, I know it's a bit. So yeah, Daenerys is just like
Do you think Tyrion's done for then?
only if Daenerys gets her hands on him. But at the
He
same
might
time,
be-
he didn't do anything. Like as much
He
as
did
he
let
let
Jaime
Jaime
go.
go.
But did
But if-
Daenerys know that?
Yeah, if she doesn't know that,
They
it's
always
not like Jaime did
often
anything.
things happen and no one knows, and then the next episode they just
Yeah.
go.
They
you know.
kidnapped Missandei.
Yeah.
So
How? How do you know?
she might find out from someone at some point, but
Mm.
there's a chance that Tyrion just sides with Jon now, and then he's protected that way.
I
Yeah.
hope so. I wouldn't like Tyrion. Like the last episode, having him die in the last episode would suck.
Well, it would complete his arc, so there's a chance. Okay, well, what do you think, death prediction wise, in the next episode?
Daenerys, Drogon.
How are they going to take care of a dragon now?
What if Jon has the dragon?
That's possible.
I don't know who's going to die.
I do think Tyrion's on the chopping block.
He did say my life, my like not that innocent dwarf life for thousands of innocent
And-
lives
But
is
it
a
didn't
good
happen.
compromise. But then all the thousands
Yeah.
of people died anyway, so he
Yeah.
may as well keep his not
Yeah,
so innocent
basically.
dwarf life, right?
I think
Yeah.
Grey Worm's probably on the chopping block too.
Yeah.
You think? But all the wars are kind of done.
God, he was.
Oh, there's one
he
more
was
war.
a dick
He'll
too,
stand.
hey?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I mean, he had revenge.
Apparently,
Yeah.
she was, very important.
Who?
Missandei.
Yeah.
Because
Because everyone
much
was
the
so
whole-
mad.
the whole thing was her fault.
Yeah.
Well, it's Cersei's fault, but it was triggered by her. But he will side with Daenerys, obviously, so he will probably die, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like what? Like last episode, I was like so shocked and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I feel like
But-
Jon was more loyal at the start of this episode to Daenerys than Tyrion was. Like Tyrion was
Yeah,
kind
no.
of questioning it, so I don't think Tyrion will stand by her after this.
No.
No.
And neither will Jon, but Jon was just like blindly like, just let her do a thing. Now that he did is like, that's not a good thing. And I really think that the reason why Daenerys went and just like fuck shit up was because she knows that she's not going to end up ultimately on the Iron Throne. Because as soon as everyone finds out that he's meant to be, not her, he will and she won't, and she can't live unless she's on the Iron Throne. So she's like, you know what? I'll just destroy the freaking throne because then no one can be on it.
That's true, yeah.
I don't know, which I think is stupid. It's just a stupid bitch. It's disappointing. I liked her.
Well, on a positive, I enjoyed watching an episode at the Red Keep instead of Winterfell.
Yes, yeah.
That was nice
true.
at least.
In the little clip that shows a bit of the next week's episode. It looked a bit snowy though.
Or was that just Ash
I reckon
from
it was
all
probably
of
just Ash.
Okay, all right, it was
Yeah.
Ash, all right. I
Yeah.
thought winter was maybe finally coming.
It's just going to be hard. Like the next episode, it's going to be really hard to wrap everything up in a way that feels finished.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be one of those shows that ends in a way where you're like, oh, was that it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
just like this
Yeah.
episode, it was like, oh,
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah, this episode did not feel done.
I was tempted to check. I wanted to check how far along we were in the episode just to be like, is it getting? Is this it? Is it? But yeah, and then it ended, and then okay, I guess that was it.
Yeah, Jesus. Yes. Sansa's going to be like, I told you, John. Like, I fucking told you.
Yep. I think so many people are going to be like that.
Yes.
Maybe
I know,
they're just
which
going to
is
end up
sad.
splitting the Seven Kingdoms again.
Although, like, you saw that some of the North Army were the ones being dicks as well to the innocent people. Like, there was that guy that John had to pull off that woman. Like, it wasn't just Daenerys' men, it was John's too.
Yeah.
Well, I
Everyone
think
was
it's-
just fucked.
Yeah.
It's just supposed to be like that bloodlust thing.
Yeah.
Once it's go time, it's go time. And I guess they wanted revenge from other battles, like Rob, when they had Rob Stark and everything. They have fought the Lannisters before and everything. So,
I don't know.
you know, the Lannisters have never been.
Everyone's just like, yeah, finally we got to kill Lannisters. We don't like them. No one likes Lannisters.
Yay.
But at the same
Stab,
time,
stab.
like, no, not innocent people.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
was
how
the
I
thing.
feel.
It was one thing to take out the Lannister army, but then they were just massacring everyone.
Yeah. Because their queen was doing it. Why not? No.
Yes, you follow the one with the dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel.
Yeah. No.
No.
No. I
Well,
don't
actually,
either.
here's something. They did keep saying Daenerys was talking about tyrants and stuff, which I think might be like leading up to the fact that they're going to have no more of this like family ruling thing. Like that might be the thing that disappears in the next episode.
Ooh, a democracy.
Maybe. If that could be, which is a very George R. Martin thing to do, I think, because he does a lot of that sort of stuff in his writing, like
'Cause
political,
it's very
blah, blah, blah.
political, yeah.
So maybe the conclusion is, yeah, they start up a democracy or something.
Imagine that, though. Imagine that. Like,
And that's
it's
what
a
it'll-
Game of Thrones. Who's going to end up on the throne? JK, the throne's not a thing anymore.
It's all fun and games till someone gets hurt. Then it's a democracy.
Vote one Sansa Stark for Prime Minister.
yeah. Hand out little ballots.
I feel like she's the only one that would want it at this stage other than Daenerys.
It's true. Only one that deserves it, too. Let's be real.
All right, well, let's go to a positive note. What was your favorite moment?
I really have to think though. Oh, I've got mine. Can I say mine
Yeah, you go
first, so that
first.
you don't
Oh, I
steal
hope it's
it?
not the same as mine.
Oh, it might be.
Oh, okay.
When Arya said thank you to the Hound,
Yeah,
that was really
good.
sweet.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for
Oh,
that
and he, like,
moment.
cupped her little hand.
And he said,
I was like,
"Go."
kiss her on the, like, forehead.
And then
like,
she said Clegane. She said his real
Yeah,
name, and
I
she
know.
said thank you, and he was like,
I know.
"I'm gonna go die."
Yeah.
that was nice. I liked that. Yeah.
No, that was good.
Stopped her in her tracks.
It was so
Mhm.
cute. I was like, oh, it was like her big brother.
Yeah, it was good to finally get that moment because you didn't get it last time. So
And when they first like finally came like back together after like she left him to die, it was like very unfulfilling, and you're like, cool friends. But yeah, this one felt a little bit.
well, there you go. That was at least a little good conclusion to one of the story arcs.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Do you have a favorite moment?
Well, you go next. I don't know
I
about
didn't.
mine.
I didn't pick one yet
Oh
either.
I
no! Dun
got
dun
one.
dun
I
dun.
could
Yeah,
just
go
do
again,
one.
Kat.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
When Tyrion and Jaime had their little moment because Jaime saved Tyrion, and so
I
Tyrion
liked that,
saved
That
But
was
then-
actually okay.
After
then
you got
Jamie-
the conclusion, it seemed pointless.
Yes, but it was nice for
do you
Tyrion to
mean?
have that in his heart that he rescued his brother.
Yeah, true.
To get all of that nice talking and like go do this, do all that, blah blah blah,
And then nothing happened.
None of that mattered, and none
Yeah.
of that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just trying to help.
Oh no, it was a nice moment and it was good,
No, I did.
and then it was ruined.
Yeah, then it
Yeah.
sucks because it's like, oh,
I know.
never mind.
I guess it was cool
I
to
mean,
see the dragons,
The
even though it
Hound
was.
died after his moment, so it was pointless.
Well, that's fine. that was
Wait, who did?
expected.
The Hound.
Oh,
Clegane.
right.
But that was he died doing his mission, whereas Tyrion set him free and was like, "Here's a bunch of things," and then
Yeah,
it's
go
like,
do this, and he's like, nah.
at least he got to kill the Greyjoy.
Yeah.
I think that was probably my favorite moment when they were like stabbing, and I was like, yeah, get it in there.
I was worried
Yeah.
Jaime was gonna die there,
Yeah,
Wish
that
we
would have
would've been.
sucked. Oh my God.
Mm.
No, I like that. And I did like the bit where she got onto the horse as much as it was just like, okay, we get it. We're going to get on the horse. It was still very nice.
That
And
was nice.
it was
a pretty
It was very
horse
pretty. Yeah, very pretty. And
it was
a very.
a white horse like the one the girl was
with
holding.
lots of blood in it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Get
Yeah,
that.
I
okay.
don't know if that means,
Ooh,
it
I don't
means
know.
anything.
Probably knowing them, but it was nice. Like it looked really pretty with all the stuff coming down. But then you think about it, and you're like, oh, that's all like fucking dead people. All right, cool. And so she like rides off, and just how she's just seen all these horrible things, but then she's just like, shh, it's okay, horsey. Plus, I
She's-
just like horses, so that helps.
That
Horse
helps.
girl.
I'll tell you, one of the bits I didn't like was when she saw her little friends and the little girl and the mum. That sucked.
Well, they gave you they gave you those two people
To follow
throughout the
so
episode.
that you
throughout-
knew they were
yeah.
going to die.
Just to give you the extra feels, because otherwise it's just a bunch of people you don't know, randoms
It's
that are
true.
just burning.
Give
But they're
Arya the
like,
extra
here's
feels.
someone to relate to, or
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, what's your favorite moment?
Oh,
you say
I was
yours?
just gonna say it was. I think it was some of the better fighting and like with the dragons, like the fire and all that was cool.
Yeah,
Even
that's
though
true.
it
The
was-
first bit when the door came
That
out.
was,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
sick. Just like he's like, oh, when do you want us to do it? And it's like, you'll know,
You'll
wink,
know.
like.
So even though it was a lot of it was like you just got to forget things for it to be cool, which is fine. But there was a lot of cool dragon and fighting moments.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, anything else? Quickie predictions? Anything? Or
No, I think we've already
covered
kind of covered
everything?
it all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess that's it. Are we going to keep watching, or should we just call it quits here?
Maybe
May
just
as
we'll give
well.
them one more
Give
and
them
then
one
see.
more. Okay, we'll give them one more.
Anyway, let us know what you think about this episode in the comments. And tune in next week for the last ever Game of
thrilling
Thrones.
conclusion.
Yeah,
My
of Game of Thrones
goodness.
review from us.
Can't be real.
Yeah, I know. What is
How
this?
many years? 6 years, I think
Oh,
I've
not
been
for
watching
us.
it.
Not for us. We binged it like a couple
2 years ago, from season 1 to season
Really?
6 or 7. When season 7
Nick
came out,
was like, Daenerys, this seems pretty cool.
I was like, oh, she's hot. Okay.
I'm
watched them all.
gonna binge this and
way. I
see if
think
it's cosplayable.
My old boss lent me the 2 first seasons on DVD before the third one came out, and I watched them all.
Oh my God.
And then I've been watching it since
Oh,
then.
that was the quickie point we had that we didn't make. Just one last quickie.
Yeah.
They should have split the White Walker storyline into one
Yes.
season
Yes.
and split this whole other thing into another season. It would have given time for Daenerys to go crazy and for all of this stuff to
Yeah, it
happen.
would have been more believable.
Yeah.
Maybe the money wasn't there. I don't know. I think people would have kept watching, and I think they would have
reckon
kept
the
their
money was
integrity a little bit more or whatever it was. But
Yeah.
that could have really helped if they just split those two things and slowed them down.
I would have watched
Even
that.
if they were just 2 6-episode seasons.
Yeah.
Like this
Just
one.
that more time.
That's true.
Anyway,
Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a really good day. Try and recover after this episode. I love you. Goodbye.
goodbye. 20 seconds, guys.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Too mean.
God, it sounded
Goodbye.
really
Goodbye
good.
now. Thank you. You
It
did
was
very
lovely.
good. Yeah.
Oh, thank
You
you.
did good
It's backing
too.
you up a bit.
Yeah,
there.
That's probably it.